So I am very grateful to Vasant and to Arvind and to Chitra for coming, and I know that Kalpana could not come, and therefore it's a very special occasion, an occasion for very special thanks to Manthan for bringing all friends together. So this book is about the judiciary, and what happened was that I will about 50 judgments, 50 recent judgments of the Supreme Court are analyzed from different points of view to show the condition of the judiciary. The title of the book, Anita Gets Bail. Anita is my wife, and she, she's not well, and she was lying down. We are on the first floor, and the watchman came running. सर कि वो पुलिस वाला आया है, पुलिस वाला है, क्या होता है? कहता सर नहीं, बीवी जी को पेश करो. So I was astonished. I ran down, and this man said, "Hey, Anita Shourie यहाँ रहती है?" क्यों? कहता क्योंकि आपने bailable warrant of arrest accept नहीं किया. भाई हम सब यहाँ रहते हैं, कोई ऐसा वारंट नहीं आया. मगर वो वारंट क्यों भेजा? कहता क्योंकि 5 बार आपने समन्स रिफ्यूज किए, अब कोई समन नहीं आया, और भेजे क्यों? तो इसने ये नहीं मुझे पता, अगर वो 9 बजे सुबह फरीदाबाद की कोर्ट में हाजिर ना हुई तो 5 साल की कैद. I was astonished. I mean, what's happened? I said कि so I rang up my friend Shekhar Gupta. Do we have somebody in Faridabad who knows where the court is? So I rushed to the court in the morning. It was about 40 kilometers away, and as you know, in the court, people are milling around. Veranda hai, it is filthy. The toilets are filthy, and all this. And there's a lady sitting there. और बाहर नाम हो रहे हैं भाई so and so. फिर 1.5 घंटे के बाद आया Anita Shourie. So I went up to the lady magistrate, and I said, आप क्यों आए? कौन हो? मैंने कहा मेरा नाम अरुण शौरी है, मैं आया हूँ क्योंकि आपने अनीता शौरी की, मैं उसका हस्बैंड हूँ, आपने नॉन अवेलेबल वारंट पर अरेस्ट इशू किए. हाँ, आपने समन्स रिफ्यूज किए? कोई समन नहीं आए. एंड द मैजिस्ट्रेट सेड, हाँ कई बार ऐसे होता है कि हमारे लोग जाते नहीं हैं, ऐसे ही लिख देते हैं समन्स नॉट सर्व. खुद आप ये कह रही हैं, मगर आपने तकलीफ क्यों की समन्स भेजने की? चीजें नहीं, आपने इलीगल फार्म हाउस बनाया. कोई फार्म हाउस नहीं बनाया. नहीं, एक सेकंड ठहरो. शी लुक्ड अप अ फाइल, एंड इन दैट फाइल इट वाज प्लॉट F35 अरावली एस्टेट में आपने घर बनाया. मैडम कोई घर नहीं बनाया, हमारे पास वो प्लॉट था, कुछ महीने के लिए था, और फिर क्योंकि हमने पूना के पास घर बनाना था तो उसके लिए पैसे चाहिए थे, हमने वो बेच दिया था. तो somebody standing to my right, he said कि हाँ जी इनका तो प्लॉट भी नहीं है, इसीलिए जिसका प्लॉट है वो एक्यूज नंबर 2 वो भी पेश है. आज हम के लिए आपकी तारीफ, इसलिए मैं पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर हूँ. मैडम यू आर सेइंग दैट दिस समन्स मे नॉट हैव बीन एवर ब्रॉट टू अवर हाउस. He is saying we don't own the plot. I am telling you that there is no house that was built. She said, no, all this you can now see in your defense. Now the process has begun. You have to produce her. So somebody said to me, ask for bail. I said, madam, आप उनको bail दीजिए. She can't be brought here. I'll have to carry her. For bail, the rule is that she must be physically present. And so on the next hearing, she must come. So we had to, this picture, so we have tried to disguise her in disability so that it is not as, we had to really literally almost carry her there. Now, then she said, I can give bail only till the next hearing because I may be transferred. So the next magistrate, again we had to produce her. Then he told me, he was so nice. He would talk very nicely. And then he said, "Zara baithiye." So I would sit down, and after a while he will disappear. and his PN will come. And he said, "Can you साहब कहने कि आप उनके साथ चाय पी लीजिए." So I would go to his room for having tea. He's such a nice man, but the system is such. He said, "किटी मैं जानता हूँ, record shows clearly कि आपने कुछ गलती नहीं की, मगर अगर मैं आपको छोड़ दूँ तो लोग कहेंगे कि मैंने पैसे लिए या मैंने पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस के अंडर किया." मैंने कहा, यार हमारे तो कभी किसी सरकार पर कोई इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं हुआ आज तक, है जी? मगर he said कि नहीं, so 1.5 साल लगा for us to get out of it. Every hearing, every month I would have 40 kilometers. So that's just this. I'm not angry about it. I look upon these things as one of the free gifts that our system provides. These are free lessons in patience, worthy of our respect, and who are independent and who are very good at their job. I've given the example, for instance, of Judge Dekuna, Michael Dekuna, who was the trial judge in Jayalalitha's case. If you read his judgment on Jayalalitha's case, it is a joy, because he dissects the claims of the lawyers and the subterfuges and tricks of the lawyers so well, and he indicts her. Similarly, there was a case in Chandigarh, you will remember, कि उसने अपने मुंशी को कहा कि ये पैकेट निर्मल जी को दे आओ. Nirmal Yadav is the judge of the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So the packet was 15 lakhs of rupees for a case that was before her. But the Munshi heard it not as Nirmal Ji ko de aaye, but Nirmal Jeet ko de aaye. So Nirmal Jeet Kaur was another judge, and she was very strict and honest. So the packet landed in her house. And she said, "क्या है?" When it was open, ऐसे को दिल्ली से किसने भेजे? She said, जो लाया उसको अभी गार्ड को कहा उसको अरेस्ट कर ले. So he was arrested and the whole case started and it was unraveled. Now, in that case, you will see in the book how two attorneys general, Milan Banerjee and Vahanvati, to what lengths they went to get Nirmal Yadav off. This does not apply, that does not apply, when the evidence was evident. And the Law Secretary of the Government of India wrote on file that the Chief Justice has been consulted. As you know, after the Viraswamy case, no investigation about a judge can proceed, Mr. Madhav Rao will tell us, unless the Chief Justice gives his consent. So, Chief Justice has been consulted, consent has been denied, therefore no investigation should proceed. Actually, when this came up, this was written on file, but somebody gave it out to the press, so the press published, the Chief Justice has refused. The Chief Justice's office said this in a statement in the evening, we were never even consulted. But the Law Secretary, a worthy colleague, no doubt, wrote that on file. Now, the CBI therefore filed a closure report before the magistrate, before the CBI judge in Chandigarh. As consent has not been given, we are forced to close this case. Now that little judge, he refused to accept the closure report. He said, "No, you continue." And eventually, the whole thing, the case is still going on. Years and years have gone by. And what was the remedy which the Supreme Court thought of? They transferred this judge to the Uttarakhand High Court. भाई उन्होंने क्या इतनी अच्छी चीजें की हैं that a judge you are now suspecting has been transferred to Uttarakhand. And then the filing of the charge sheet was systematically delayed till the last day of her service. So when she retired, then the charge sheet was filed. Is this the way to deal with when your own community is under a cloud? You must deal immediately. So there are many such instances that while there are very good judges, Dekuna, the CBI judge and so on, and at the Supreme Court level also, there are equally a number of judges who ought not to be there. one chapter is devoted to once Dekuna indicted Jayalalitha. Then an appeal was filed in the Karnataka High Court before a judge called Kumaraswamy. Now, if you see Kumaraswamy's judgments, he invents figures which are not there. He closes his eyes to figures which are there. There is a huge house inside, as you can remember. It is after all Dr. Jayalalitha's house. There must be expensive fittings. What stone was used? Marble, whatever. Everything expensive. First class. Top of the class. But to estimate, now you have to estimate, because it was a disproportionate assets case. So you have to estimate what is the value of different assets and what is the income. So, I'm giving you just one of the 20 examples. To estimate the cost of construction of this house, he uses the cost of constructing the sentry box outside the house. He says this is the per square foot which I will use, and so on. So now the problem is that this has reduced our faith that yes, we will get justice because by court's hand. Sometimes you may get it, as happened in this Karnataka incident just now, and sometimes, as I can show you, as in Loya's case, the Supreme Court does the predictable thing. Or in the medical college case from Lucknow, where they themselves are involved. So, and it so happens that whenever justice is not done, it is to such, to the convenience of the executive, by coincidence. You see, in this Sohrabuddin murder case, how many witnesses have resigned? My friend Shekhar Gupta reminded me during the interview, he said, sir, 52 have already resigned. Now, the same thing happened. Jayalalitha was out of office, 76 people had given evidence, recording how the land used to be purchased for her, how the construction material came, all this. She came back to power and 67 of them resigned. But not one person has ever been punished for perjury. Why does this not happen in the US or in the UK? Because you will be punished for perjury. But in India, nobody is punished. Now, similarly, you see in these terrorism cases these days, what is happening? How they are being overturned by the courts. Because they say that the evidence is not forthcoming and the witnesses have resigned. What can we do? Similarly, the quality of judgments has really gone down so much. And I will read out some of these passages that you will have difficulty in. Now we just now began with the national anthem, and you should just read the present Chief Justice's. He started his career on lauding the national anthem when he was in Madhya Pradesh High Court. And there was a film called Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham. So in that there is a scene, there is a school function going on in London. So every child goes up and does some variety thing. So this little boy goes up and his mother says that he will now sing a song from the Sound of Music. He says no, I'll sing Jan Gan Man. So he starts singing Jan Gan Man. Now the mother and father, seeing that the national anthem is being sung, they got up as you did. Then seeing them get up, the other uncles and aunts got up. Then seeing the Indians get up, the British people got up. And in the end, the boy forgets 2-3 words. And the mother gets up and completes the song. That's the scene. Now Justice Mishra writes pages and pages and pages कि ये कैसे तौहीन है नेशनल कैसे एक बच्चे ने गाया, एक बच्चे ने फिल्म में गाया, एक बच्चे ने वैरायटी एंटरटेनमेंट में गाया. अरे, and once the national anthem begins, it cannot be interrupted. But the boy forgot, and the mother had to complete it. And then, and see, people did not get up at once. First 2 got up, then 4 got up, then the rest of the audience got up. So the film shall not be shown, etc. And when the appeal went to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court said, "What nonsense," they rejected they threw out the judgment. 10 years later, Justice Mishra was himself in the Supreme Court. And by one of these great providential coincidences, the same man Choksi, who had filed a petition in the High Court, now comes to the Supreme Court, and by another coincidence, the case comes to the same Justice Mishra. And now he gives a huge judgment. Everybody, before showing every film in the cinema halls, everybody must show the national anthem and stand up, sing the national anthem, stand up. And in Guwahati and in Goa, persons like my son, who cannot stand up because they are wheelchair bound, were beaten up. Are Pakistani haramzada? Khada nahi hua? So, in the Kerala Film Festival, they said, "Sir, we are showing 60 films. Oh, so we to stand up." And the Supreme Court in His Majesty said, "Yes, you must stand up 60 times. See, by your laughter, you are telling us what the court has reduced itself to." And so on. So there are many such judgments on the liquor ban and so on that you will find quite amusing.